Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom. And salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yeshuan back with another lesson for the hopeful elect. All right, and we're going to go into the muster of the troops in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. All right. So this is Joel 3 and 2. All right. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Most High's judgment. All right. We're in the time of great judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Okay, because the Amalekites are in our land right now, and the Most High is ready to deal with that. All right. So all of these things are forming the perfect storm. And again, this is the greatest movie ever created. And we, the hopeful elect, want to be able to see it through to the end. All right. So let's get into some of what has been going on. This is old.
Israel strikes Syria after attack near secretive nuclear site. A Syrian officer was killed and 3 soldiers wounded Thursday in strikes launched by Israel after a missile was fired towards a secretive nuclear site in the Jewish state, a monitor said. Since the outbreak of Syria's civil war in 2011, Israel has routinely carried out aerial...
I don't even want to see that. All right, Slovakia for that. This is Secret Files 333, the channel. April 26th, which today, I believe, is... today is the 26th. Okay, so this is today. It reads, the title reads, Israel Air Defense Unable to Intercept Missiles. So their little iron dome is not working. Okay, so let's watch this first and then watch a little more in-depth breakdown of what's actually going on over there, and then we'll get some precepts on keeping it.
Israel Air Defense unable to intercept missile. The Israeli regime's army spokesman Avichai Adre made the remarks after it was reported on Thursday morning that a missile had landed in an area close to the secretive Dimona nuclear reactor in the south of the occupied lands. According to Adre in a post on his Twitter account, preliminary investigations into the incident of a surface-to-air missile fired from Syria at Israel indicate that the missiles were not intercepted. The Israeli regime's spokesman said that missile came from Syria and said that after the explosion near Dimona, the regime air forces targeted several missile batteries in the vicinity of the Syrian capital of Damascus. Meanwhile, Qatari Al Jazeera reported the Israeli army is claiming that a rocket fired from Syria had exploded in the sky and that its shrapnel had been scattered in the Negev area. Tel Aviv announced today that investigations into the rocket fire from Syria is going on.
Okay, now they're using a bunch of different verbiage. They're saying missile, they're saying rocket. What's the difference between a missile and a rocket? Okay, well, a rocket could be, a model rocket or have very little impact on the situation at hand. Okay, is it a rocket? Is it a missile with a warhead? Okay, is a rocket going to carry a warhead? A missile will carry a warhead. All right. Did they let the Iron Dome down so the rocket can, come in, do its minor destruction so that they can fire back or have a reason to? Do they fire it themselves? whatever the case is, what we see here is this war escalating. All right. So this falls under war and rumors of war. Okay. So Iron Dome failed. Let's watch this right here. This is...
Today is the day to get back.
Let's lock it. Here we go.
Now, and I wanted to give you...
Start from the top.
Hey folks, Eric Stackelbeck here. Welcome to a special weekend breaking news edition of the Watchman Newscast. We like to say that the Middle East never sleeps, and the weekends are no exception.
Okay, so this is April 24th, Slovakia. The Watchman with Eric Steckelbeck. Breaking, Israel hit by Gaza rocket barrage, plus Iran oil tanker attacked. Okay, letting you know this thing is heating up to the point where any day now they're going to have to acknowledge what's going on. They're going to have to, the declaration of war is coming up, all right? And the moment that they declare war, everything changes. The Constitution is out. You're under wartime, you're on a war footing. So when they declare war, instead of the Constitution, what rights does an American citizen or an American non-citizen have? That's what's going to affect you as soon as they declare war. All right? So let's watch a little bit of this.
Two major developing stories out of the region that we are following for you right now. And I wanted to give you a quick update because this is developing and unfolding rapidly. Number one, a major rocket barrage out of Gaza targeting southern Israel. Over the past 24 hours alone, we have seen at least 38 rockets launched out of Gaza into or near communities in southern Israel. I am getting alerts on my phone from the Israel Defense Forces on a regular basis over the past 24 hours saying, hey, the sirens are going off again. We have incoming rockets. I get these alerts on my phone from the IDF. So this is coming on a regular clip, 36 rockets.
The IDF is the Israeli Defense Federation. Whatever.
Launched Friday overnight going into Saturday morning, and two so far today, Saturday, April 24th. But unfortunately, the night is still young in Israel, relatively speaking. It's 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time on the East Coast of the United States, where I am based right now. So it's midnight in Israel, folks, as I'm coming to you. But a lot of these rocket barrages oftentimes come overnight. So let's pray that this is the last of it, that it doesn't intensify overnight. But
so it's intensifying, right? And this is actually major news, right? Because this is the least of the flock is going to draw Babylon the Great into this greater war. If Israel's fighting everybody, Syria, Gaza, the Carmanians, okay, it's all going down, really, if you understand what's going down.
All bets are off right now because these kinds of exchanges, and it's not even an exchange, it's a one-way street of Hamas blanketing Israel with rockets. Of course, the Israeli Air Force is responding and striking Hamas targets inside Gaza.
That's
but
one fight.
These exchanges can quickly escalate into a larger confrontation. Okay, what is the source of the rockets? We know that Hamas rules the Gaza Strip with an iron fist. But there are other terror organizations that also operate inside Gaza under the watchful eye of Hamas. Two organizations in particular thus far have claimed responsibility for this volley of rockets that we've seen over the past 24 hours. The one organization is the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade. Now that is an arm, it is the terror arm of Fatah. That name may ring a bell. Fatah is the party of Mahmoud Abbas, the president of the Palestinian Authority, Israel's so-called partner for peace. So we've got the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade on one hand claiming responsibility. On the other hand, we have PFLP, that's an acronym for the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine.
Okay, so those are the Palestinians, including Hamas, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And that's all within what they call Israel, all right? Or Palestine, whatever they have divided up. Now, when you get into Syria, all right, that's a different situation, okay? And then when you get into Iran, that's a different situation. Now, they could be allies and helping each other and funding and supplying each other, but these are different factions, all right? And they're coming together. It's called allied forces, all right? And because these allied forces, which grow, once you're dealing with Iran, okay, then you're dealing with Russia, then you're dealing with China, because they're all allies. Letting you know that this is the great muster. This is the Most High bringing the troops down into the valley of Yahushua, like he prophesied that he had prophesied that he would do. All right.
You've heard so much, obviously, about Hamas, but there are, again, other terror outfits operating in Gaza and throughout the Palestinian territories. Of course, we've also got a very dangerous Iranian proxy.
There we go. Iran, proxy, meaning ally.
Operating in Gaza by the name of Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and you can bet that they were also involved in launching some of these rockets. Unclear thus far if Hamas had a hand in this. Usually they do more often than not. Hamas has not claimed responsibility yet, but I can tell you that Israel holds Hamas responsible for what unfolds in Gaza, since Hamas rules Gaza. So this is happening on Hamas's watch. So when Israel retaliates, they will strike, rightly so, Hamas targets inside Gaza. So this is happening right now. Now, the reasoning these terror organizations are giving for this latest rocket barrage, and folks, we've seen so many over the past decade and a half. We've seen major, at least three.
Okay, so that's talking about the rocket attack. Now, how about up here where it says Iran oil tanker attacked? Okay, who did that? Who could that be? Let's try to skip
Boat on a public bus, the one video showed.
Salakia. Okay, here we go with commercials.
Should this
Look at this ridiculousness. Go.
Hope and pray that this is the last of it. Only 2 rockets today so far, thank God, but 30
Come on.
still are facing right now. But these are brave and resilient people who live there. I know them very well. I have filmed their fold here, God forbid, with these terror organizations in Gaza, which are targeting it.
What about the oil tanker? Come on.
That an Iranian oil tanker off the coast of Syria suffered apparently some sort of explosion. There was a
Oh, we don't know what it was. See, it's wholly different when you're talking about the people whose side you're on. Okay.
large fire on this Iranian oil tanker today, Saturday, April 24th. One Syrian outlet reported that, or a Syrian opposition outlet reported that at least 3 people on this Iranian fuel tanker were killed in this inferno, I guess, on the ship. Again, we're trying to get more details here. We don't want to get too far ahead. This is just what we know so far based on reports out of the Middle East. Now, these, at least some of these outlets are reporting they believe that it was a drone, an Israeli drone.
Oh, there we go. Well, why don't you just say it?
That targeted this Iranian fuel tanker.
Okay, good enough. All right, my point is this, all right? Here's what's going on. Joel 3:2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahushua. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among all nations and parted my land. All right? Here's what we're watching. It's Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire And by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. Salakia. Okay? The abomination and the mouth shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. All right? Jeremiah, we're just going to get some precepts and go ahead and close out. Jeremiah 25 and 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Now, we're in the beginning stages of the gathering, all right, but in the end, all right, those nukes are going to come out, all right. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. All right. So in the end, Salakia, and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be as dung upon the ground. Great mass death is coming, and we're in the beginning stages of it. Okay. All right. And it's significant that these people are firing live fire upon each other. You can act like this has been going on for a while, but hey, it's very significant, and this is the beginning of it. All right. Book of Ezekiel 38, 22. And I will plead. All right. That word plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands, troops, and upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain, and great hailstones, fire, and brimstone. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord. So the Most High, just like he defeated Pharaoh, raised him up and put him down so that his name would be magnified. This is what we're watching right now, the great judgment. Okay, this is Joel 12. Salakia. It's Joel 3 and 12. Joel 3 and 12. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. All right? This is Micah 4. Micah 4 and 12. But they know not the thoughts of the Most High, Salakia, the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel, for he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. All right? Here's what's going on. This is the great gathering. Zephaniah 3. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All right. Zechariah 14. Zechariah 14 and 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, the house shall be rifled, and the women shall be ravaged, and half the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. All right? You 2/3 are about to catch it as well. All right? But the Most High is gathering right now. This is the book of Isaiah. It's Isaiah 14 and 26. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and is the hand that is, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all nations. For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? His hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? The answer is no one shall turn it back. This gathering. All right. It's Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right? Hey, patience right now is where your soul resteth. Okay? Book of Zephaniah, we pretty much proved it. This is Book of Zephaniah 1 and 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. We're coming upon that time. Everything's going to escalate into the nukes. Right now, they talk about rockets and missiles, but soon it'll be ICBMs. All right. Book of Haggai 2 and 22. And I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses, and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. All right? So the great gathering in the valley of Yehoshaphat is jumping off before our eyes. So it's just a wake up. Okay, this thing is steamrolling. Okay, so we're going to keep our eye on it. We're going to continue to report on it and be a watchman on the wall. All right. So with that, I hope that the elect were edified, and until the next one, shalom.